this up. That should start that. Oh wait, I just realized I don't have my... Okay, add that. There we go. Select stream, refresh. Do that. And then I need to actually get the camera plugged in and ready to go. So let me do that really quickly. Move all of this stuff. Move all of these paints. What's up, Slayer Smith? Welcome to the stream. Sorry, there's not really any visual going on right now. I'm setting up the camera. We're going to be doing some stop motion live. Okay, just put those there for right now. These. Damn, my workspace is a mess, dude. An absolute mess. Like that. And Kyrie's World, welcome. How we doing? Boop. Don't mind the dead bug that is currently on my table. Rest in peace, little guy. Don't know how you got there. What are we animating? Good question. Probably just something random. I have a slight idea of what I want, but that's it. Not really anything concrete. And really quickly, I gotta move some stuff around. Hold on, I gotta move this. Let's just put that right there for right now. Move this stuff right over here. There. Okay. Gotta move the microphone a little bit. Let's just move that to the right there. This to right here. Put that right there. There we go. And then let's get our boy in the scene. Alrighty. Can you guys, I think Spotify is working. Can you guys hear any Spotify music or no? figure sort of cool. Thank you. Dummy 13s are a blessing to all that is stop motion. Okay, well, it's time to raise the camera a little bit. There we go. Right there should be good. Alrighty. So. Let's get him in focus really quickly. There we go. Cool. And now, actually can move the microphone even more. Rotate that. And move this a little closer. Sorry if that's really loud on the microphone. Not bad. Okay, so I think we're gonna do a little bit of a combat thing, but like with the camera being the POV of the attacker. And since this animation needs to be done by tomorrow, it's not gonna be too complex. Let's start by having Elite here. Let's get him in his classic hands in pocket position. Head, just like that. There we go. And then let's bring in some pillars just for a nice simple background. These pillars are actually 3D printed and I can separate them into 2 pieces. Which is pretty cool. I plan on making a variant that is like kind of broken and shattered a little bit so that I can have somebody hit one of the pillars and have it break apart. Let's put those right there. Oh, the stream lagged? Let me make sure I'm not doing anything else that might bring lag to the stream. Like, for instance, any Steam downloads? No? Let's close out of Steam just in case. That too. Hopefully that's good now. You guys will have to let me know. I'm hoping it's good now. Alright, so we have Elite there. We got our 2 pillars. The weapon that we're going to use is going to be this custom weapon that I made for another Shattered Isles character, who I don't have a figure for yet. Hello! Welcome to the stream, my mans. How you doing? Here's the, oh, that's out of focus. We got this axe right here that we'll be using as a weapon. How does it look if the camera swings the axe? That looks pretty alright. We'll see how it looks when we actually are animating it. Let's see. We can get that close to him without having to move the camera at all, so that's good. This figure is also a little right there. There we go. Also, for the people joining the stop motion stream, here's a little sneak peek. I'm currently painting him. So here's a little sneak peek of the head of a new Shattered Isles character. Put him in the light. Put this light in here so that y'all can see this a little bit better. There's a head of a work in progress figure. He's actually a figure who's been on the channel before in a lot of my videos, but he's actually getting a nice overhaul in the looks department. Okay, so planning. Plan is we're gonna have Elite, kind of like, any of y'all know Sans Undertale? I feel like everybody on Earth knows Sans Undertale, even if they don't know Undertale. Anyways, we're gonna have him kind of dodge some attacks in a very Sans-like fashion. And then have him, I'm thinking like we have him grab the camera. Or like grab, if the camera was a character, grab where the character's throat would be. But I don't know. You just rage quit. Why did you rage quit and why are you in pain? Ooh. That does not sound good. That sounds really bad, actually. I hope you're doing alright. I mean, obviously, you're in pain, but I hope it gets better. Freaking sucks. Okay, let's Okay, so I'm thinking, maybe we start him off with his eyes closed, actually. So let's pop his eyes off. Hold on. And find his eyes closed, his closed eyes. Those on him. He cannot see. Where's the other closed eye? It's gotta be here around here somewhere. Hold on. There it is. Ooh. Okay. Gotta love having just cat hair everywhere up here in my stop motion area. I love my cats to death, but damn, do they like leaving stuff around. Alright, hold on, here we go. Put the eye back on. Now he has his 2 eyes on. Let's go. You can see again. And let's put him in kind of a more hunched over position. So let's like bend the knees slightly. Like that. What do we think of that as a starting position? I think that's good. And let's see. Is the focus on just on his jacket, or is it focused on his head too? It's focused on his head. There we go. Okay, I think we took the first photo. And usually when you start an animation, you want to give some time for the viewer's eyes to figure out what they're looking at. So I usually take 3 frames that is just of the same picture, just 3 times. So that you can kind of get an idea before any movement occurs. So now let's have the camera very slowly start running towards him. Let's have him be like kind of breathing, so he'll be like doing a breathing motion. I think we should have the axe get like raised up, and then have it get raised up and then come down as it gets closer to him. So kind of make it look like the camera's actually running instead of just going towards him. We're going to do a little bit of up and down movement, I think. And let's grab this axe. And I can actually hold this axe with just my hand, which is very nice. So let's have it start there. And then let's get closer and have a little bit of an up movement now. What is the Shattered Isles about? It's gonna be a original series that I've kind of been making in the background for a while. But it's gonna be kind of like, I don't know, I probably need to work on like an actual description of what it is. It's kind of hard to explain. But lots of the main inspirations for it are like Gilded Guy and the world he's made. That's one of the main inspirations. And then just kind of like the old stick fight animations that used to be uploaded all the time. I kind of just want to make like a story where I get to animate a lot of fight scenes, because I do like animating fight scenes. And so I'm going to, the world is kind of like, takes place on these islands that called the Shattered Isles, because they like were one island and then they shattered into multiple islands. And the main story is going to follow Elite and his a gang of friends of his that and Elite used to be a gladiator on the islands, and you kind of get to follow his journey of being a gladiator and what happened after he stopped being a gladiator for various reasons. Okay, let's have Elite start looking up now. So let's have his eyes kind of move up, his head move up, his eyes move up. There. And then let's switch out his eyes for some slightly open ones. But let's make them so that they're kind of looking towards where the attack is coming from. Kind of like that. So then we'll just have the axe go from, like, kind of stay in the same spot, just a little bit differently positioned, like that. shocked eyes really quickly. Move a little bit like he's getting ready to dodge out of the way. And then we put that one like right there. Change the focus. Dark Galaxy, welcome. What's going on, my mans? Okay. So then we're gonna have the axe start to come back down. Actually, no, we're gonna have him. Well, first we have to have him disappear. For one frame. As the axe comes down. He's got to appear back for one frame, and he'll be kind of crouching down a bit more. Change where his head is looking. That. And then have this like right there, basically, actually. Disappear again, and the axe is going to be slashing through to the ground, basically. pretty good for without any effects on it. And so now that we've got that, I think we will have the camera kind of look up to over this way, to the left and up, and then we can have like we'll have a shot of the camera not moving as much and just swinging the axe as he teleports a few times to dodge it. The question is how do we get from this scene to that scene? I think we're gonna do, I think I have an idea. I think we have the axe. Currently it's hit the ground. And I think it can stay here for a few frames, and then let's do 5. And then I think they'll pick the axe will get picked up and wound up, and then we'll do like a spin thing. And I'll add a lot of motion blur so that you can't see that we just spin the exact same set, and I'll just move the pillars around a little bit. And that's how we'll get to that scene. So let's do that. Let's grab this axe. How did I do this? This? Now, we'll have the axe get picked up like that. We'll have the camera move a little bit with it, just because the camera technically is the thing picking up the axe. Then we're gonna do a big spin move. With the axe. And, hold on. Let's grab this piece of paper I have. Let's go find some scissors. And let's cut out, how wide is that? That wide. Let's cut out a swing. Effect for this thing. swing effect. There we go. Just that kind of thing right there. And then let's take some sticky tack and stick one side of it to the paper and one side of it to the axe. And then we'll make sure that the focus is nice and on the axe. And then we're going to have it spin up like that. And then have the camera just zoom out. Actually, we'll have it zoomed in for this bit. And now we need Elite actually on set. So let's change his eyeballs out from the shocked ones. And let's change them to more cheerful ones. That's what I'm thinking. So let's grab these. Let's put the cheerful eyes on. Is that the right side? It is, yeah, okay. So let's put these on. Let's put him in the scene, kind of right about here. Let's fix his arms so that he's back to being in his normal, casual, hands in pocket pose. Oops. Just like that. There we go. Let's actually zoom out a little bit and move this background a little bit so that it's still there. And that'll spin around. We'll zoom in a little bit here. And we'll have this be right here. That. Oh, that fell off. It's fine. And then let's have the camera move quite a bit and zoom out a little bit. Move this back to where it was. Move this to remove this pillar out of there because that way it'll be a little different. Let's see how that looks so far. Let's spin. So far it looks pretty alright. So let's have Elite crouch down. In anticipation for the hit. Well, actually, Elite's there. And then, yeah, and then he's kind of gonna lean a little away from the thing as it comes in at him. And instead of just doing like a through, we're gonna have the axe start to come down like this at him. And then he's going to disappear. As the axe comes to a screeching halt, hitting the floor. but it's gonna zoom out a little bit. That's not there. Move this a little bit. There we go. And we're going to have him isn't. We gotta have one frame of him not there. Okay, like that. And then we'll have him kind of appear, but let's have him looking down at where the axe was going to hit. Right there? Yeah. So let's have him kind of squatting down, and then he'll stand back up. Right there, there we go. And then we'll grab this axe, and we will do a little tiny bit of camera movement since its axe just hit the floor. Have the camera come back up as the rebound of the hit. And now he disappears because I want the little like blinking effect as he teleports. So now the axe back into position. There we go. See how that looks now. Looking pretty good. Let's have him reappear now, kind of standing up a bit more. In the same position as he was though, so that doesn't look weird. Is that about the same position? Yeah, I'd say so. So looking down at the thing. Let's have the axe here. The axe gets picked up. And he stands up a little bit more. Don't want his feet to move though. And as he stands up, let's have him kind of start looking towards the camera. up a little bit more. And can actually move to look at him a little bit more. Just like that. And then let's have him kind of stand up fully now. Is he falling over? He's falling over a little bit. Let's make sure he's not doing that. Let's bring his arms down. Kind of make him do that kind of stance. There we go. And then have him look down more. But let's keep his momentum kind of backwards a little bit. Like that. There we go. A very little amount now, but a little bit. That's You left for an hour. What did you miss? Didn't miss too much. I'll give you a little rundown of what we've got so far. Also, Chips, welcome to the stream, my mans. Sorry I missed your message. That's what we've got so far. Although, I do think... Well, he stands up with that, so... It's a little fast, but I think it's okay. Let's see, so that's where the axis was last time, so we're gonna have the X here. We're gonna have the camera kinda ever so slightly sway that direction. As we get ready for the next swing. And then, so it goes from there to there. Let's have that pause for 3 frames. There we go. Let's see, just before we have the big burst of movement with the axe. And so let's have, because another attack is coming, let's have a lead look in the direction that the attack is going to come from. Kind of ever so slightly for the first little bit, and then he'll... Let's have the... Not his whole body,
Just his head.
Alright, now we have the axe. Going towards him. And we'll let's have him start to do this. And just to kind of hide the fact that that's where the white ends, we'll move the white, but we'll also put a thing there. Okay, there we go. Let's have him kind of do that a little bit as the axe comes flying in. And now he disappears from here as the axe swings on by. Like that. And then we'll take off the red paper. And we'll see how that swing looks. I don't know. I might delete what there's a bug. Fruit fly. I might delete this frame right here. Or this frame right here. Might delete that one, I don't know. But now we have him. We gotta switch out Elite's hands really quickly. And then let's switch out the eyes really quickly. This one. just do one of his normal eyes here. And then do one of these eyes here. Maybe not, I don't know. Maybe this eye? Maybe that eye mixed with this eye. Frick, hold on. I gotta put that back. There we go. So now we can put him here. Now what we're gonna do actually is we're gonna plug in a little thing to the back of him that lets him, it's not the right one. Where is that? That lets him connect to a stand. It's not this one. There it is right there. That into him. And let's connect them to the stand. To this first frame, we gotta move the stand though. Screw that on. Unscrew this one. And then screw it back on. Kind of make his hoodie look like it's kind of moving with him. Chest so that he's like that. There we go. Just like that. So let's really quickly we're gonna move him off the set. Take a picture of just the axe. Where it needs to be, which is right about there. And then we'll take a picture of him in frame. Which will be right about here. The lighting changes ever so slightly, but it'll be okay. So now we make him move a little bit right here, like towards this direction. The axe is well off of the side of the screen now. He's gonna disappear for this bit for one frame. And then he's gonna reappear out a little bit. Turn it right about there. We'll have the zoom be a little slower. Be right there. But he's gonna have moved a little bit towards the floor, I think. Okay, well, he doesn't want to stay. Okay, there we go. We're gonna have him move towards the floor a little bit more. So we're gonna undo this one. We're gonna have it go down a few. Tighten it back up. He's gonna have 1 foot on the floor now. And he's gonna raise his kind of do that. There we go. So let's see. Okay, so there we go. We've got how he's gonna look. We take him off the set, we take a picture, and then we put him back on the set. He needs to be a little bit more right there, actually. His leg needs to be like that a bit more. There we go. And this leg actually is going to be going down to the ground. So there's that, and now we should be able to move the camera a bit more and have him not have to be on the stand anymore. So let's take the stand off and let's put his leg down like that. His arms will come up a little bit more like that. His hoodie looks goofy. Hold on, let's fix that. Let's fix the goofy hoodie. Why is the goofy hoodie happening? Oh, because he has the thing on the back of it still connected. There we go. That should fix it. So let's do that now. And his legs should be bent a little bit, like that. His legs need to be a little more like that. There we go. And kind of bend his whole body a little bit, actually. Good enough. Then we'll do a little bit of a camera movement here. A little bit of movement on the arms and stuff, a little bit of movement on the legs. There we go. Do one more little move, and then we'll do kind of a bounce back. Just like that. There you go. Let's add this. Let's see. Looking pretty good so far. And so then we'll have one more attack with the axe going this way. And he's gonna duck under it, and then I don't know what else from there he'll do, but we'll see. Right now, let's have him hold this position for a few frames. 4 frames should be good. And then we'll bring the axe back in and animate that. Which we can just do. And he'll move his head ever so slightly. The axe is gonna come on the screen like this. And he's gonna open both of his eyes. I need to redesign one of those eyes that I had on, the one that was on his left, but the right side of him for us. The one that looks like a U. I need to redesign that one to better fit all of his other eyes. And then let's have him kind of bend down a little bit because of the upcoming attack. Disappears. We have the axe. Swing. Hold on. Switch the sides. The sticky tack's on. We have the axe swing. Across. The camera moves ever so slightly to go with it. And then we switch his eyes out again. Be these ones. These happy eyeballs. Let's see, where's the other happy eyeball? Happy eyeball, where are you? Come on. I know you're around here somewhere. You're not it. Where'd the other happy eyeball go? Uh-oh. We've lost an eye. Hello, Tori. It's going good. How are you, my mans? lost an eyeball and I don't know where the frick it went. There it is. Found it. Had me stressing for just a second. But we're good. These are pretty easy to remake. I just would rather not have to go remake them. I'm doing good too. Awesome. Glad to hear it. What am I animating? Just kind of a practice animation, I guess, for Elite and his teleporting abilities that he has. Here, let me play it back really quickly what we got so far. That's what we've got so far. It'll look probably a lot better when I add the actual 2D effects on top of it that I'll draw later. Rob, my man's watching this while I practice some 2D animation. That is awesome. How's it going? The animation. Going good? Going frustrated? Going slow? Going fast? I freaking love 2D animation. I just am not patient enough for it. Which is funny because I'm patient enough for stop motion, but not 2D animation. Okay, so now the next bit is of him. He's gonna be crouching down with his hands in the pockets. Going medium. I feel that. Yeah, a lot of people say they don't have the patience for stop motion animation, and I completely understand it. It does take a long time. I just like the, I guess the instant gratification of it, I guess would be the word. Because once you actually like animate the frames, they're done, and you can watch them back immediately and see the finished product basically. But yeah, it's time consuming. But I like the mix of both of the mediums. I like doing stop motion animation for like the bulk of it, and then I like adding little 2D effects that I can animate on top of it, because I get the best of both worlds, being able to draw and being able to get all the stop motion stuff I like. Let's put him down here. Just like that. Is he low enough? I'm not sure if he's low enough or not. It'll be low enough for what we need. Let's move him over a little bit. Have him kind of tilt his head and move his eyeballs up so that he's actually like looking up at the camera. Okay, so let's have the effect here. Have the axe swinging. Keep on swinging. Yeah, that's another thing I like. I like having the physical figures. Helps you not have to know how to draw anatomy as well. Which I suck at, so you know. That's a big plus in my book. And having a 3D printer has really helped get past the hurdle of, if I ever wanted to do custom characters, I would have to put in a lot more work than I would like to. But now, with a 3D printer, you can do it pretty easily, actually. Hello, kitty cat. Hold on. I wonder if I can do this. Hold on. He needs to disappear again anyways. And the camera's gonna move anyways, so... Actually, I'll finish this clip and then we'll do that. So let's camera's gonna move a little bit more. The axe is gonna come over to like here. And then we'll put him back kind of where he was. Is that where he was? No, nowhere close to where he was. Like right there. Even more over here. That's pretty close. And then we'll have him kind of go even lower down than he was. Kind of like that. And then go even lower down. And then we'll have the camera kind of move over again like it gets looking at him. And then we will do a little bit of course correct on him. Bit of a rotation there. Here we go. Apply some of the 12 principles of animation. 2 of them. And see how that looks. I like that last one. The last swing right here after he teleports and the swing happens and he teleports under it. I really like that one. I think that's my favorite one compared to the rest of the swings. So let's pause that for about 5 seconds. Let's play it back again just one more time. There we go. And then let's have him kind of crouch down a little bit. Disappear. Camera's gonna look down, kind of where he was, and then we're gonna have him teleport. But first we have to do this and change his facial expression. While I'm doing this, we'll just play this again. Okay, just pull one of those off. Let's get the other one off. There we go. Let's switch out this hand. That's the wrong hand. I just put his right hand, or his left hand on his right arm. Looked goofy. Let's put the right hand on the right arm. There we go. Let's have him teleport here. Have it kind of the camera still going down as if it's trying to look at where he was originally. And we'll have him there. Then we take him out of it. The camera moves up because it's like, what the heck was that? And then we put him back in that position. Oh, except he's bending back a little too much. Right there. The arm goes back some more. The camera kind of starts to focus in on him a little bit more. Let's move the entire body a little bit more. And then we'll have him kind of do a little bit, start focusing even more, and then we're gonna do one more little movement just to really build up that anticipation. Actually, I kind of like the look of just the hand being in focus. Oh, where are you going, buddy? You gonna lay on the floor, or are you leaving? Damn, he's leaving. I'm just gonna take a picture and put my cat on camera, but he's out of here. He's done with his nap, and he's done. He's leaving. Okay, so then let's have this hold for one more frame, and then big movement right there. Focus starts focusing on the whole body now. Starts to zoom out, trying to get like a way to kind of get away. And then that's when we'll just cut straight to like right here. Or like straight to like, hold on. Have the arm go right to there. closer. And then we can have him like, his arm will be like going underneath the camera like that. Perfect. We'll have him like do this. Make sure the feet are stuck down on the ground. Okay, and then do that. And kind of have his head turn like that. The camera moves and move to the side since his hand moved and he's technically like holding the throat. And then we'll have him kind of then let's pause that for a little bit for like, let's pause that for like 25 seconds. Let's see how that looks. That looks pretty dang good. So then we're gonna have him kind of start to wind up a punch. The arm moving down that much. It wasn't supposed to move down that much. And then a little bit more. And then we'll start the punch. A little bit of movement there. angle. Change the position of the fist. And then have his like head and stuff get a little closer while this the camera gets hit backwards. And let's just do that, and then it'll like go to a black shot right there. And then we can move that guy out of the way and zoom out, change the focus, and that should be that animation done. Yeah, that looks pretty dang good if I do say so myself. Can't wait to add the effects and the take out the stand and stuff. There we go. Yippee! Cool mundo. Let's take this axe and put it away. Really quickly. Let's see, did this get done? It did get done drawing. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, I put that together wrong. Whoops. I'm trying to figure out, okay, so I'm trying to make this custom figure for the Shattered Isles. This character named Will, and as opposed to Elite and the character that debuted in my most recent animation, Elizabeth, they're both robots. So I didn't have to worry about making them look human or anything, but this character and most other characters are human. And I'm trying to figure out, I've got, trying to figure out which one looks better. I mean, I think I know which one looks better. Hold on, where's that, But the question is which one looks better and is more practical for a figure that has sleeveless arms. Let me bring the lights over here. This guy's supposed to have sleeveless arms. So I'm gonna give him a tank top, but then have his arms bare. And I'm trying to decide whether I do this look where I have the painted arm, but then the black is still black. Or if I do this look, which is armor and the black is painted skin tone. And I mean, I think that gets across the idea of you know, the sleeveless look a bit more, but practically it's not nearly as good because with all the animating that's going to happen eventually, that paint's going to come off, you know. So I'm trying to figure out which one to do. To have all skin color, or if the skin color and the black looks okay. Because if I can get by with this, that would be great, but if it looks kind of weird, then I might have to go with the other one. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? had to choose, or if you saw this one, would it look weird and off-putting? And I might have to, like, I might be able to find a 3D print for a dummy 13 that has less of the black showing. I might have to, if I could find that, then I could paint the outside and have the internals still be unpainted and then just have them more covered. That would be cool. He might be a bit more bulky than usual, but that would be okay. But because I do like, I mean, I like the look of this one more. Because it does look more like an actual human arm. I mean, it doesn't really, it still looks like a dummy 13 arm, but it looks more human than this variant, you know? But, I don't know. Might have to try to find another dummy 13, like, variant that has more human looking arms and paint those. Anyways. Just because I can, like, already just moving it around after, you know, already I can tell that paint is gonna come off and it's not gonna be great, so we'll have to see. I do agree that the all painted one looks better. Well, so let's move this, change up this hand, switch to that. There. And with that, I think the stream will be coming to an end. Got the animation done. That'll probably be coming out tomorrow, or yeah, it'll be coming out Wednesday, the usual upload time, once I get the effects done and stuff. So, yeah. Thank you all for joining me and for the input. I appreciate it so much, and I hope you'll like the final result when everything's added. Hold on, why isn't it? There. So yeah, came out pretty well, and new to the channel, well, welcome. Glad to have you here. And so anyways, I will talk to you all later. I hope you all have a wonderful wonderful day or night, depending on where you are and what time zone you are in.
And yeah, that's it. See you guys later. Bye bye.